Hey guys, it's Kevin. This is going to be another movie review, and this movie I'm going to be reviewing, I didn't really have, I wouldn't say I was like interested in this movie. I was very, I was hoping that this movie would be good. I had some hope for this movie, and then reviews started to come out. This movie got like big rave reviews, and I was very surprised about how good reviews this movie was getting. But this is going to be my review for the 2015 live action adaptation of Cinderella. Now, Cinderella. I really did not know how this movie was going to be because if you guys know, had a very bad track record with these live action um, movies of classic fairy tales. They did Alice in Wonderland, which was complete shit. I hate that movie. Oz Great and Powerful, I thought was okay. Maleficent, I heard was okay, but this one, I didn't know how it was going to be. I didn't really know if I wanted it, and I didn't really care much about it. However, to my surprise, I ended up loving this movie. I thought this was a fantastic movie. I think that it told a great story, and there was a lot of things this movie did that I didn't think it was going to do, and I love that it did that. But let me talk about the basic plot. If you guys know the plot of Cinderella, it's pretty simple. However, I kind of feel like the plot of Cinderella is a little bit different in this movie because we actually focus on Cinderella. It's her name's not Cinderella first. Her name is actually first Ella, and she is this girl who she's very wealthy. Her family's extremely wealthy. They pretty much have a perfect life. She's taught by her mother to believe in the existence of magic and just everything is perfect until one day when her mother dies on her bed and she gets this really bad illness. She ends up dying on her deathbed, but she makes Ella promise that she'll always have courage and be kind to others. So years later, Ella's a teenager and her father has married Lady Tremaine, aka the evil stepmother, and she now has these two daughters of her own. And at this point, Lady Tremaine isn't showing her true intentions, and eventually her father ends up going away on a business trip and eventually ends up dying as well, so she's stuck with her stepmother, who turns out to be this very evil lady who makes her clean and just makes her clean constantly, doesn't even let her eat dinner with them, and she really is not the best lady. She really is the worst mother ever. And but the thing is, Ella still has that confidence in her, and she still has that kindness in her. And eventually she meets this guy Kit is this prince basically who right away shows an interest in her, and she finds out that he's going to this ball and she really wants to go, but the stepsisters forbid her, and eventually she does end up getting a chance to go to the ball with the fairy godmother. And we all know the story of Cinderella. If you guys know the story, then whatever, but that's basically the plot of Cinderella. So a lot of things I didn't think this movie was going to do that I definitely really enjoyed. And first of all, let's get to the acting in this movie. That usually is the biggest problem with these movies is the acting, because a lot of them, the acting have been very wooden, and everyone did a great job in this movie. I have to say, everyone did a fantastic job, really. And there were some things that I love that this movie did. First of all, Lily James as Ella, perfectly casted. She was just perfect. I mean, she really did a great job as this character. You see her as a Cinderella, you really care about her character, and there's so many things I love that they did with her character. I mean, just seeing her childhood. Of course, the original anime movie, the script wasn't very long. I'll get to this when we get to the screenplay, but I just love that with her character. She was always so kind, and she didn't let anything make her not kind, and she always kept that promise to her mother. And she's a very strong woman as well. Every time, she's having all these bad things happen to her, she doesn't let it get her down, and you just love her character. I think Lily James has portrayed this character perfectly. She was great in the movie. She's attractive to look at. She's nice to look at. You can see why she was casted. I haven't seen her in anything else, but I definitely feel she has a career ahead of her. She's a great actress, and I can't wait to see what else she does. Richard Madden as Kit. Now, this is an interesting choice, of course, because Kit and Ella, usually what happens is we don't have much of a character for Prince Charming, and a lot of people are worried that when we saw in the trailer Kid and Ella meeting before the ball, a lot of people were worried about that. But honestly, I think it made his character a lot better because he didn't have much of a story, and in this he does have a story. We see that his father is dying and he wants him to find he wants him to find a queen so he can become king and everything and take his place. And I just found his arc to be really interesting. I think Richard Madden did a really good job. He added some charm to the role. He added this wittiness to the role, and he was really good, and I definitely thought he did a really good job of that, and I definitely enjoyed his character also. He was really good. Kate Blanchett was very good as Lady Tremaine. One of the things I like, though, is that Ella really cares for Lady Tremaine, and while the movie doesn't get you to care for her, you do kind of see her in a little bit of a vulnerable state. There are times where, you do care for her character, and I like what they did with Lady Tremaine overall. It doesn't try to humanize her character. It doesn't do what Maleficent does, but I definitely enjoyed that. She did a really good job at playing this evil, this evil, jealous stepmother who just wants nothing but to get her daughter's fortune, and I thought that was really well done. Helena Bonham Carter, not in the movie a lot. She does narrate the movie, but she was very funny when she was in the movie. She added a lot of humor to it, and I thought she was just really good overall. And then Holiday, the only other person I'll talk about is Holiday Granger and Sophie McShera as Anastasia and Drusilla stole the show in so many scenes. They were so funny. I mean, just seeing these two go at it with each other, seeing these two fight, just Cinderella stepsisters were so funny, and just seeing them interact with Cinderella with Ella as well, I thought was really good to see, definitely. And I think really one of the things that worked the best in this movie, besides the acting, was the directing by Kenneth Branagh. Kenneth Branagh knows how to do some very good movies like this. He's done a lot of Shakespearean movies, and he directed this movie. He directed this movie to pretty much perfectly. I mean, I really couldn't see anyone else directing this movie. He did a great job directing it. I think his directing, his tone was great. One of the things I like that he did is that he did not try to make this a dark version of Cinderella. And that really has been the problem with these new Disney ones, is that they make them dark, and they try to make them grittier, and they try to make them more, like, modern. And this movie doesn't do that at all. It just tells the story of Cinderella while adding a few details in there that honestly does make the movie work a little bit better. And I think he did a really good job with doing that. I'm happy that he didn't do that because if he would have done that, it would have ruined the movie for me. So I like that he just kept the same tone intact throughout the whole movie. And a lot of the movie is actually very fun, which I will get to. But the best part of this movie, honestly, is the screenplay. The screenplay is so good to this movie. I mean, seriously. My favorite parts of the movie involve the scenes that were added in. Just seeing Ella, we never saw a version where Ella gets to meet her, stepmother before her parents died. We never saw that before, and I love seeing it. I love seeing that her stepmother was kind to her and hided her true inner hatred for her. I like seeing that. I like seeing Ella interact with the stepsisters. I like seeing her get the name Cinderella. We find out how she gets the name Cinderella, and it was really interesting how that happened. I like seeing Ella as a child. I just thought overall it was all very well done, and we have to keep in mind that a lot of people are worried that they were adding these things in, but here's the thing, guys, you have to keep in mind this. The original movie is like 60 minutes long. It's not long at all. It's a very short movie, and it didn't have much of a script to it besides the story we all know and love. So them adding these things in there really worked for the movie and really made the whole arc work a lot better, I have to say. A lot of things that happened in this movie made it work a lot better, and adding those things in there, I really love that they did that, because this could have just been an exact carbon copy of the original, but it's really not. In fact, it's not an updated version by any means, but it is a good storytelling for if your kids have not seen the original version of Cinderella, take them to see this. This really pays a lot of homage to the original 1953 classic. It really does do that very well, and I love that. I love that. 1950, I mean, not 1953, but 1950 classic. It really pays a lot of homage to it. So many scenes in there, just you feel it, and there's so many great scenes, really. Obviously, there's no talking mice in this one. There's no talking animals. This is a live-action version. I like the movie doesn't do that, because Oz the Great and Powerful did do that. They had talking animals, and that worked because it was in Oz, but here, that would not have worked. So I like that they didn't do that. I like that they made that part of it realistic. And the movie is pretty realistic, honestly. It really is pretty realistic, and I like that as well, because I didn't think it was going to be, and I definitely really enjoyed that. The score here was great. I love the score to this movie. I think Patrick Doyle really did a great job with capturing the score. Definitely really good. He didn't try to make it too dark. He didn't try to make it seem completely out of touch, and I think his score was just great here. Cinematography is beautiful to this movie. Some of the best cinematography of the year by far. Absolutely love the cinematography. Such vibrant, gorgeous colors. I mean, especially in the scenes with the ball. Beautiful, beautiful colors. The CGI, it looks amazing. Really, it does. I mean, just the detail that they had was just great here. They are always great cinematography, but I think this might just be their best cinematography yet. It really was fantastic here. The editing by Martin Walsh was great as well. This movie flies by. It never feels too long. It flies by like that, and it's because of how into it I am. And again, when comparing these to the other Disney live action ones, you really can't, because this one's just so different than that. And the thing that I like the most about it is that it doesn't take itself too seriously. It knows that it can have fun with it. It does have fun with it. And I like that they had fun with it. They said, you know what, we're not going to take this as seriously as we could. We're going to have some fun with it. And I like that we did that, because they should have fun with Cinderella. Cinderella is a fun story. It really is. I mean, it's a story of hope. It's a story of not letting, not inner beauty. That's really what the story's all about. And I like that the movie did that. It didn't try to make it something it's not. It didn't do what Maleficent does, where it tries to make you care for the villain, or what Alice in Wonderland does, where it turns into an action movie. In fact, this is not an action movie. There's not any action in this movie, which I was very happy about, because a lot of people are very worried that we're gonna add action in here. Guys, there's not a single action scene in this movie. The only action there actually is of course when she has to run away from the prince and loses her shoe. That's the only bit of action there really is, and I love that. And the development that these characters had, I loved as well. Just the development was great, the dialogue was great, everything about this was great, and I guess the only thing I'll talk about here are the sets, which were beautiful. Beautiful sets. Absolutely love the set. I think this movie should definitely come Oscar time next year. It needs to be nominated for Best Set Design. It has beautiful sets, and I loved it. If this is what Disney wants to do now with their live action movies, because I know their next one is Beauty and the Beast, and if they want to do this, then I'm all for it, because I love what they're doing here. Cinderella very much surprised me. It is by far the most surprising movie of the year so far. I did not think this movie was going to be as good as it was. I didn't think it would have as good as a time as it was. I wasn't really even looking forward to it, and it surprised the hell out of me. I loved it, and I was surprised by how much I really love this movie. While I want to give this movie an A minus, I can't, because it didn't blow me away. It wasn't absolutely amazing. And plus, you guys know the story. I will say, besides the things they add in, there's really nothing new to it. And it's not a problem. It's just that it doesn't make me give it an A minus, but I definitely would watch again. This is one that I definitely would watch again. Alice in Wonderland, Maleficent, Oz the Great and Powerful, stay away from those. Oz the Great and Powerful and on Blu-ray, I'm probably going to get rid of it. I'm never going to watch it again. Stay away from those. Cinderella is the way to go. That is how you do it, not these dark versions, not some weird twist that ruins the entire franchise. No, just stick to the story, add some good scenes in there, get some good actors to play the roles, and just have fun with it. That's what Cinderella did that worked so well, is they had fun with the story. They kept the story, they knew what direction they wanted to head in, and they did it perfectly. So that's it for my review of Cinderella. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys saw of this movie if you have seen it. Also, let me know what you guys saw of Frozen Fever, because I know that that played before this, and I did review Frozen Fever if you guys want to check that out as well. And I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be my review for the series premiere of Bloodline. So I will see you guys for that. Okay, bye.